Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Rape of Lucrece, which, content warning, deals with sexual violence towards women, so if that's a trigger for you, please tune out. But if you are open to hearing the next couple of stanzas, today we're going to look at stanzas 33 through 36, which it's the middle of the night. Sextus is at Caladium. He wants to sleep with Lucrece, but he is having a moment of doubt and sort of a moment of realizing how horrible this thing that he wants to do is. And yesterday he was talking about some of the reasons why it's so horrible, and then stanza 33 picks up saying, "Oh, what excuse can my invention make when thou shalt charge me with so black a deed? Will not my tongue be mute, my frail joints shake, mine eyes forego their light, my false heart bleed? The guilt being great, the fear doth still exceed. And extreme fear can neither fight nor fly, but coward-like with trembling terror die. Had Colotinus killed my son or sire, or lain in ambush to betray my life, or were he not my dear friend, this desire might have excuse to work upon his wife, as in revenge or quittal of such strife. But as he is my kinsman, my dear friend, the shame and fault finds no excuse nor end. Shameful it is, aye, if the fact be known. Hateful it is. There is no hate in loving. I'll beg her love, but she is own. The worst is but denial and reproving. My will is strong, past reason's weak removing. Who fears a sentence or an old man's saw shall by a painted cloth be kept in awe. Thus, graceless, holds he disputation between frozen conscience and hot-burning will, and with good thoughts make dispensation, urging the worser sense for vantage still, which in a moment doth confound and kill all pure effects, and doth so far proceed that what is vile shows like a virtuous deed." So that last stanza there was going back to the narrator talking about this, whereas the first three were him actually talking through what a bad thing it is that he's going to do. You know, he had talked about how if he goes ahead with this, it will, like, his shame will live on forever, you know, way beyond his death. And in this first stanza, stanza 33, he picks up there saying, you know, like, won't people be able to see this, you know, in my face? It's gonna break me. It's gonna break my heart. It's gonna make me weak. All of these things. And he's like, but you know, the guilt is really big, but the fear is even worse. And in the face of such fear, you can't really do anything. And then, you know, he goes back to Colotinus, who Shakespeare had put a lot of blame on Colotinus earlier for this happening, like he shouldn't have talked so highly of his wife. And now Sextus even blames, or sort of blames, Colotinus. He's like, you know, if he had, or at least thinks about him, he's like, if he had killed my family, or if he had been rude to me or horrible, or even if I just didn't know him as well as I do, then I might be able to say, oh, she's just a gorgeous woman that I want to sleep with. But he's like, but he's my dear, dear friend, which makes this so much worse. And the third stanza, he's like, this is just, it's so bad. What I want to do is so bad, but I'm going to do it anyway, is sort of where he lands. And then the last stanza there is some commentary on that, saying, you know, he's stuck between, you know, the fear that's freezing him in place and his lust for her. What seems to be winning is the lust for her, which is bad, but he's getting to the point where he's able to justify it. And, you know, the lust is so hot and so strong that it almost feels like a good thing that he has to go through with this. So that's stanzas 33 to 36, and let's see how much more depraved he could get. I mean, we all know where this is going. We learned that in the argument, but it is kind of interesting and also a little bit painful to watch it get there. But come on back tomorrow for more. I'll see you then. Mwah.